welcome to my home. This is where I do my yoga every morning. And we're talking about the longevity series. So this is series number 6 or video number 6, where we're going to go over one of my favorite longevity tools, and that's breath. So I also happen to be day 3 into my 5-day water fast. We talked about the role of autophagy last time. We talked about the role of making this lifestyle part of your discipline, part of your devotion. And fasting is a part of that, and so is breath work, and so is a lot of the tools that we teach in our clinic. And here's the thing on breath. Breath is so tied to the respiration within our cells, the mitochondria. And so if we don't regularly activate this energy system through our breath, then we're not really activating the full potential of what our mitochondria can do. And we know that sort of the brake on the cell is whether or not we've got a good presence and utilization of those mitochondria. We talked about energy adaptation, switching from not just a sugar burner, but also being able to use fat as a fuel. And obviously that's also what happens during a fasted state. So when you exercise your breath, you're also activating more of the recruitment of those mitochondria because they require oxygen and a fuel source, fat or sugar, in order to create energy. And so the vitality of our body, the endurance of our body, the longevity of our body is really dependent on, are we giving these mitochondria enough of those tools? So let's talk about breath a little bit. I'm going to talk about heart-centered breathing on another episode in relation to heart math and how your body sinks into a parasympathetic state. Here's the yogic teaching on breath. It's called prana. You only have a certain amount of breath, and that sort of determines the length of your life. And so if we use up our breath in short little upper chest breath work, which most of us do during your day, we're doing that when we're stressed out, we're doing it when we're just sort of not conscious of this breath. And here's the interesting thing with breath, it does determine, or according to yogic philosophy, that's the amount of breath you have is literally how long you're meant to be living. But the interesting thing also about breath is that it's something that can be unconscious, but also conscious. And so your ability to activate this breath is completely dependent on your awareness and your presence in each moment. Our teacher says you have to breathe in order to believe. And believe is not necessarily believing in something, but maybe just believing in yourself. How much belief do you have in your actions, in the words that you speak, in your lifestyle practice, in your nutrition? How much are you bringing that belief system of who you are into everything you do? So there's a beautiful energetic component to the breath and to the lungs and what they represent for us. Now, here's the technical side, is most people, unfortunately, are called paradoxical breathers. So when you inhale, your belly should expand. And when we exhale, the belly should move towards the back of the spine. Most of us, when we're stuck in that fight or flight, or that dominant stress state, we're breathing the upper part of our chest, so we're not really even activating the full diaphragmatic breath, which helps to really, move that oxygen through the body. One of the tools that we brought in the clinic is called hyperbaric pressurized air therapy, or hyperbaric oxygen therapy. And it's one of these tools that's so magical because it helps to really increase the amount of oxygen delivery to all our cells. And you can also do this on a regular basis by activating this breath system within inside you. So now we'll take that breath a step further. So another tool we use called breath of fire, and it's a rapid exhale breath where there's this automatic inhale recoil. And so in so doing, going back to we all have a certain amount of breath in our life. When we're doing breath work, we're actually extending or slowing down time, so to speak, because with a rapid fire breath, it's considered the length of time that you do that breath is considered to be one breath. And another breath technique in yoga is long, deep breathing, which we can all attest to the fact that would be a powerful tool for getting into a relaxed state. So getting back to the rapid breath or breath of fire, this is a rapid exhale, passive inhale. And when you're doing any breath work, it's best to be sitting up nice and tall, nice and straight, rooted down into your sit bones to the floor. Your spine is long, your chin is tucked in, almost like you're creating some double chins, but it's tucked in tight so that the cervical spine is long. And so you're sitting like a yogi, you're sitting up nice and tall. And when you're doing breath of fire, we'll do a little example here. Basically, you put your hand on your belly, and essentially it's just this quick, short contraction. And this exhale is allowing for that passive inhale. It takes a little bit of work to get into. And here's my suggestion for people is that you want to do this at least 3 minutes a day. We usually recommend for pregnant women, not recommended. Women on their menstrual cycle, not recommended. But otherwise, most of us can get into this breath. Now, the nice thing about this breath when you're fasting is that it really helps to warm you up. And so it's great for even just patients who are people who have thyroid dysfunction or find that they're cold all the time, or hands and fingers and feet are always cold. But the next Kriya I'm going to show you is something called Ego Eradicator. And so it involves our arm movements. So let's try the breath one more time, and then I'll bring in the arms. So this time try just closing your eyes and bring in that breath. So here's the thing, whenever we're doing yoga, Kundalini yoga specifically, we keep our eyes closed, and so it becomes an internal experience. Obviously I'm doing on Facebook Live here, so just bear with me. I'm going to have my eyes open for a period of time just to show you how we do it. Now, breath of fire, Ego Eradicator, which I'm going to show you, is something I do every morning. I wake up in the morning, I come down and do my reading prayer, and then I get into my yoga set. And I always incorporate Ego Eradicator as part of my warm-up exercise. Those of you who are fasting along with us, Ego Eradicator is an amazing tool to help with basically getting back into your body, getting back into your breath when you're fasting, because it's easy to get a little frazzled with the day-to-day stuff. So sitting back in your yogi posture, nice long spine, sit bones rooted to the floor, chin tucked in, spine is long and straight, and now we're going to bring in our arms. So basically your upper pads of your fingertips come to the upper pads of your hands, and your thumb tips are pointing one another. And this position is really about bringing your shoulders back and down. And so what you feel is like a rotation of the shoulder blades. So they're coming down, and then your arms are out at 60 degrees. And so this is something I find that I keep correcting into when I'm in this posture and with the breath. And so you may find that you kind of rotate down and back to perfect that posture a little bit more. Yoga is so much about alignment, and breath is so much about getting the right posture, and so you're anchoring in with your breath. And so that's the tool that I like to use, and I hope that you guys start using it. And I know that those of you who are doing a fasting program, you've practiced this on our calls. So here's a video for you to just come back to if you need to. So we're going to do just 1 minute, but generally we do 3 minutes breath. So here we go. Fingertips to the upper pads of the hands, thumb tips pointing one another, and shoulders down and back, chin tucked in, neck lock, and begin breath fire. And when you finish, deep inhale, thumb tips come together, fingertips up, suspend the breath, and exhale and release. And you just let yourself sit and be for a moment. Now I've got a fire on behind me, and this is called breath of fire, so it does really invigorate me. I can feel the heat rising in the body. So here's the thing. Bringing breath in is often foreign for people, but it literally is one of your most powerful longevity tools. As you activate more oxygen in your body through your breath, through the perfusion, through flow and movement, you're gonna perfuse all your distal tissues, your fingertips, your toes, and everything, and really importantly, your brain, of course, too. So that's it for today's Longevity Lab series number 6. There's more to come. This is a vital tool for longevity. If you can start to build in a daily breath practice, it will literally change your mind. And it will change the way you look at the world, because you're going to come from a place of more deep relaxation. Now, ego eradicator in of itself is one that I find, if I'm in agitation, if I'm in fatigue, if I'm in frustration or whatever it is, it just kind of cleans the slate. And so you just come back into your body just feeling leveled and feeling ready to take on whatever it was that you were facing for the day. So that's it for now. Sat Nam. Have a great day, and I'll be back with more.